Hey coin collectors, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Today it's the 1995 Washington quarter from the United States of America. We can see one right here. It says Liberty at the top, In God We Trust under his chin, 1995 down here, and then way in the back behind him, behind this little kind of ponytail with the tie in it, is a D, and that's for the Denver Mint. The Denver Mint in 1995 made 1.1 billion of these. There is a bunch of them around. If you can get this up to an MS65, you're talking about $6.50. So not huge money. But it turns out that there's a lot of MS65s around. But if you want to get to the big money, there's not a whole lot of MS67 pluses around. So if you can find this in the Mint State 67 plus, PCGS is graded for them, and they come in at around $925. You can see some shiny coins down here, and it's going to turn out that maybe in some cases the shiny ones aren't worth as much as the regular circulating ones. So let's take a look at this Denver Mint coin, and we'll take a look at the Philly, and we'll take a look at the San Francisco coin. All right, now we get to the back of it. And if we look at the top, we see that it says United States of America, pluribus unum. Some pretty good detail in that eagle there. Here on the shoulders a little bit worn down, but that's the 1995s. And then down here, not a lot of great leg feathers, but there's some pretty good ones. When we see the arrow down here, we see the line through the center, the little ribbon that's holding the arrows together, and the bottom tail, the tail feathers down here. And the olive branch, as it kind of comes across here, is pretty well defined for 1995. At the very bottom it says $0.25. So this coin probably not an MS65. What about the Philadelphia coin for 1995? Well, here's one here. There's a P there for Philadelphia. And you know, of course, that the quarters, at least since 1968, have always had the P's on them. You can always find the P on a quarter, though you don't find it on all the other coins. Same kind of thing, copper, nickel, clad copper. The back of this is what we want to look at. We see that there's some okay detail, really worn head here, but not so great. And again, this won't make it an MS65. And then we see some denting down here. These kind of, that's probably from the mint there on the U, but it's not really a die crack. What it probably is some grease got into the dies, and you see how this E is kind of doesn't stick up very much. Sometimes when the grease gets into the dies, they don't get a good pressing. It's not going to add a whole lot of value to it. It's just something interesting to look at. Now, I said that they make them at the Philadelphia, the Denver, and the San Francisco Mint, but I had two coins there with the S on them. And why is that? Well, in 1995, they did have this kind of special silver mint set that came out in addition to the regular special silver proof set that came out in addition to the regular proof set. Which one do you think is the silver one? Well, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think it's this one because the copper nickel clad copper ones generally have a little bit more of a brownish tone to them, but let's tip it up and see. Yeah, so this is a copper nickel clad copper. You can see a little bit more tone to it. This is a silver. It's a little bit more shiny and silvery. This is probably a D-cam. It's probably MS or proof 65 or above. And you can see incredible detail here. S back here for the San Francisco Mint. To San Francisco Mint in 1995, they made 2 million of these clad coins. They also made 839,000 of these silver coins. 90% silver. We tip it up and we can see it's 90% silver. And the back of it is fantastic. Now I talk about how the leaves come up on the wings, and look at these ones. How it kind of comes down through here, the little bit of extra leaf there. How the feathers come down all the way between the legs and down the legs. How the definition of this neck and eyes and beak is so huge. How we can see the feathers all the way up to shoulders. But guess what? They made a lot of these, and they made a lot of them good. So in 2007, one of these would have sold for about $386 in the proof 70. Now it's down to about 78. because when they sold it for $386 in 2007, people started looking, and there's at least 625 proof 70s of this silver coin, and so it's probably worth about $80, $5 or so in silver alone, and then $80 because there's just, even though there is 625 of them, that's still kind of rare. What about the Clad coins? Well, they've rated 1,070 of these at PCGS at a PR70. So even if this is a PR70, still no value, and this is probably pretty close. Look at the detail in that head. You can actually see the beak line, you can see the eyes, you can see the tuft coming off the back. Beautiful feathers all the way through. This coin is a beautiful coin, but it's not going to have a huge value because they have 1,070 of the PR70s, and the PR70s, the proof 70s, are worth about $38. All right, so if you're going for them, I'd say go for the Philadelphia Mint coin. If you can get an MS67, it's going to be almost 1,000. Go for the Denver Mint coin. If you can get an MS68, which 5 have been graded so far, it's worth about $2,750. Have a great day from DC Coinville International Coin Channel.